Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Thank you, Hammock, for resubbing for 12 months in a row. I appreciate it. Hi, Spooky Pepper. Let me actually turn it over to multi-stream, not just on Twitch. How has everyone's day been? Hello. My family won't shut up about how much they love Elon. Jesus. That sounds like a fucking nightmare. Let me tell you what. Can we save TikTok? Probably not. Tilda Vandermeer. I am unfamiliar. Yeah, I just got back from doing a thing, which is why my regal coat is on. Elon is a fake gamer. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about that among other things. Jules Demers, am I okay? You seem exhausted. I am very exhausted. I need to... Lady, come on. Yeah, I'm very tired. And a little bit depressed. It's been a day. Thank you, all of my hobbies. Devin Denhouse, you are on time. We just started. Get good rest and feel better soon. Ugh, I don't know about that. I am trying to get... Lady, hello. I love you. I'll give you pets. Why are you being so rude? Are you being so rude? There you go. There's the pets. There's the good pets. Personal stuff, state of the world, both. Mostly state of the world and getting ready to go to the election. For those who don't know, I am going to be on the ground for both the inauguration and the rally the day before. So... so rude. Why are you so rude? Hey. No. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Hey, look at me. Dog. I know. Yeah, she's being very silly. Okay, doctor, I have a lab pit mix mutt with some other stuff in here. There's some other mutt stuff in here. Yeah, I'm hoping tomorrow. Oh shit. I'm hoping tomorrow. Hey. Oh, look at this. What's this? Ow, fucking hell, that is sharp. God damn. Ow. Can I pet the dog? Mike is really quiet. Mike shouldn't be really quiet. Mike should be right where it usually is. But I don't know. I don't know how long I'm going to stream tonight. I did, because I did kind of a longer stream the other night. B, because I am pretty depressed. The David Lynch thing is hitting me pretty hard. And C, yeah, I kind of didn't want to stream today. I spent a lot of the morning working on getting some footage for a video, which was nice. I actually got to hang out with some friends and chill. And yeah, but it's put me in this weird, like, backward funk for the day where I think my executive dysfunction is taking over a little bit. Yeah, Spooky Pepper, David Lynch passed away. Which I know a lot of people, you know, a lot of people follow me for my YouTube channel and stuff. And I wouldn't really qualify that as my, you know, quote unquote creative work. But yeah, David, like, you know, anybody who knows my creative work, who knows my writing, what limited writing is out there, or if you've played any of my games, it's just like David Lynch was obviously a huge influence on my work and my writing. Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. It's just odd. You know, people die every day, but hi, John Bainbridge. Yeah, and this is definitely gonna be my last stream before I go to Washington D.C. as well. So, thoughts on TikTok refugees? I honestly have a very hard time caring about most of the TikTok shit. If I'm being completely honest. God. Now that I'm actually looking at the shit, because there's a lot of stuff. I dragged myself to stream today for two reasons. One, I'm way behind on revenue for my channel. If I'm being entirely honest, because I've been really trying to put out less stream highlight videos. And that means I have instead been putting more time and effort into actual edited content, which the PS5 video did good, but I think I'm going to miss doing one video this week, or at least before the Trump inauguration. But yeah, it's not like I'm technically fine. I'm going to make rent and everything. Like I have enough money there. The thing I am really worried about, though, is and I've talked about this before, is taxes this year, because I am going to be doing my taxes for the first time as a full year of content creation. So that'll be fun to do. What the hell is this? That's not what I want. Weird. Yeah, I'm gonna meet up with some people in DC. All right, let's jump right into it. You know what, let's put the chat. Well, no, we'll X out the chat box for now. Why am I worried about doing taxes? Because the way taxes work when you're doing, so my main income streams are Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, and OnlyFans. And the way I do taxes on all those things is, like, it's not like when you get paid from a job, right? They take out government taxes from each paycheck, and at the end of the year, they give you stuff back. None of these companies do that. And I am afraid that I did not have enough saved up from the last year to pay that lump sum. And I'm also trying to transition to doing quarterly taxes. And it's a whole kerfuffle that the bureaucracy around it really just gets in my craw in a way that, it makes me so mad. Excuse me. Depressive Simple, having a lot of shit to do. I feel you. We got this. Thank you very much, Realney Days. Yeah, I saw somebody share this Penguin video, Penguin Zero, who I am not, like, hugely familiar with. I'm not a huge, I'd say I'm not a fan, but I'm not, like, overly familiar with. Excuse me. But I am a fan of anybody calling out Elon Musk right now. Two things with Elon Musk lately, because Elon Musk has been on an absolute tear when it comes to just pissing people off and revealing himself to be a fraud and a pathetic grifter. Lately has been him very clearly finally having to not fess up, but it's becoming more apparent that, like, he's lying, very likely, about the success, about how good of a gamer he is, which is just fucking pathetic. The other half of that is the rocket that exploded today that I'm sure it cost like billions of dollars or whatever the fuck. So here's the interesting thing about the rocket stuff. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, I have a little bit of a cold. Hulkenberg told Mike Pillow on live stream that he's Elon's bitch and he's getting walked. Yeah, Courtney Scriven, good bookkeeping is another thing I would like to at some point. I'm in this weird limbo state as a YouTuber where I don't make enough to, like, truly raise my production ceiling, right? Where I don't make enough to have, like, an editor or a handler or somebody who can, like, do this shit for me, stuff like taxes, which would be, that's the dream, right? Like, I think a lot of people, YouTube people, look at things like Hassan or like being able to buy your own house and like all that. That would be very nice. For me, the dream would be able to have somebody and say, hey, can you do all this minutia for me because it drives me fucking insane? And that way I could just focus on my work. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. And yeah, so when I looked up because I saw there was there's already video out there of the Tesla the SpaceX rocket explosion going off in the stratosphere or whatever. The amount of articles out there about SpaceX rockets blowing up is fucking, like, it truly is a regular occurrence. The shit happens all the fucking time. It's fucking unbelievable that, like, the dude just yeah, it's bonkers. Rob of the Void, thank you very much for subbing with Prime. And Juliana, thank you very much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Lane Kaplan. No, they were unmanned flights, and, like, just I'm sure fucking billions of dollars of funding went into these things, and Elon just basically waves his hand and he's like, oh yeah, well, we learned something here. And it's like, if anybody else started a business where everything they made spontaneously combusted regularly, they would be fucking fired. It's unbelievable. Yeah, just like, fuck, man. Asmongold is a part of this. Apparently, I guess. Edited or uploaded by them, and they just get a cut of the ad rev. It's super good system. All right. So I guess Elon and Asmon have some kind of beef. Whatever. Yeah, exactly, John Bainbridge. Elon has no men. He surrounds himself with the yes men who do whatever he wants, and nobody ever dares question the billionaire king. I think that is partially both why he gets along so well with Trump, and also why I think there's going to be more of a falling out, a public falling out with Trump eventually. I hope. God, I hope so. All right, let's see what the fucking drama is with this loser.
Elon Musk is a worm I like to shoot spitballs and throw tomatoes at from time to time because he...
Okay, setting the tone real strong. Coming out hot here. Holy shit. Okay. Sorry, Penguin. I was unfamiliar with your game. Oh my god. All right. I thought, again, I don't watch a lot of Penguin Zero. I expected much more of a metered approach. That's pretty good. Good way to start. Good start.
Is a jaw-droppingly embarrassing specimen of pure cringe that it is impossible to fight the urge
Thank you,
to
Solar
clown on him.
Bonks.
Yet, whenever I do, and whenever anyone mentions Elon in a less than flattering way, you will have the most unlovable Cro-Magnon swarm you, dogpiling like it's World War Z zombies, to try and defend Elon from whatever the slight criticism or jokes were about him. These gonad gobblers will always blow my mind because I don't understand this brain-off worship of Elon Musk. Everything they hype him up to be, he is the opposite. He is not cool. He generates AI images of himself where he's not like this meatball-shaped man.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I have like one little hair sticking up back there. Weird. Thus far, he's kind of spitting. Not gonna lie. What are you doing? Oh, your ball's way under there. Okay. No, sit. Stop. Back up. Get out. Ow. Lady. Ding dong. Alright, here we go.
He is not for free speech like they like to hype him up as. He's not a champion of free speech by any means. In fact, I personally think he is someone that is firmly against it in almost every single instance. Like, he personally banned the word cis. He actively bans things that hurt his feelings. And today, I think, is a great example of that, and hopefully will be a mask-off moment for a lot of people, and open their eyes to the fact that this is not a guy who's for free speech and is not for you. Like, I'm not going to get into it, but do we even need to talk about the H-1B take? Like, come on. He's not looking to hire you. He doesn't want to know you. He doesn't want to employ you. He wants the cheapest labor, and he wants everyone to be constantly fondling his sack.
No, Chuck Grape, this is a different person. This is not the dirty cockroach man. Different person entirely.
And being really, really nice to him because he's our special boy. It's so embarrassing. So, what I want to talk about today is what I think should be a very clear example of how Elon uses his power and where he actually stands on free speech. He is having a textbook crash out over gaming. Earlier this week, Quinn made a beautiful video that's breaking down the fact that Elon Musk is not the one who piloted his Path of Exile 2 account to the top of the leaderboard. It's not a conspiracy, it's not grasping at straws. When you finish that video, and I highly recommend you watch the whole video, it will be very clear, beyond a shadow of a doubt, Elon Musk was not the one who actually got the account to where it was. He instead gets permission from the boosters to play on it and flex it for his Twitter streams. He didn't know the very basic fundamentals of the game. However, I will say that his catastrophe of a stream while trying to show how great he is at gaming was enough to make me get back into grinding Path of Exile 2, because I've been slow rolling it for a while. I was still on cruel difficulty, but then watching Elon the bumbling buffoon try and play Path of Exile was like actual rage bait to get me to go back in and grind hard. So now I'm up to tier 3 waystones in the end game. It's so fucking fun. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. The point is, Elon Musk knew nothing about the game. It was very clear.
I wonder, is this another ADHD content creator? Who can say? Who can say?
It's that he was just in this complete denial and trying to convince people that he is the best gamer alive. Like, this game's a little too easy.
Yeah, so this is a big part of Elon's shtick, and it has been for a while. And it's very I meant to grab it, but there was a video a couple days ago where Elon was talking to some LA firefighters who fucking just basically in so many words told him to piss off. And it's something that you've been able to see just throughout the trajectory of Elon's careers, let's call it ascendancy. Where like he will get into these pithy pissing matches with people who are obviously more qualified, obviously more knowledgeable, especially when it comes to a niche field or just like just a niche area of knowledge. Like, you know, video games are a great example, or in more serious, more important matters, things like the cave rescue a couple years back, where he blew up at a guy and called him a pedophile over the dude being like, no, that's not how this would actually work. Your stupid little fucking dumbass submarine won't work. Now, oh, thank you so much. Maddie's Politics, sorry I'm late, but loved hearing you on GAM this week. Been a fan of theirs for like a decade now. Thank you. I totally forgot to plug that. If y'all haven't seen it, the new episode of God Awful Movies has a fun guest spot by yours truly, and I had a wonderful, wonderful time on the Gamcast, and I hope to be invited back in the future. But yeah, the Elon thing, like it's this undercurrent of insecurity that very obviously runs through everything he does that seems to inform his need to prove himself. Like he wants to convey this image of being supernaturally gifted. And like he truly wants everybody to think he has the Midas touch, right? That he can just touch anything. It doesn't matter if it's a video game or inventing something or politics. He can just go and look at it, and his brilliant Tony Starkish intellect will just take it apart and put it back together and improve upon it. And it never happens that way. Like, it's so befuddling how people like buy into it, and ironically, it drives me up a fucking wall. But yeah, I think this is the latest iteration of that, where we've seen things in the past, like, you know, Elon showing off his Elden Ring builds, and everybody who knew Elden Ring looked at it and went like, dog, you're shit at this. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's you know, bragged about other games like Diablo in the past. I'm not saying that he doesn't, because there are commonalities in the games that he likes to play, you know, talks about playing. You know, Path of Exile, not a game I've played, but obviously very close to something like Diablo. Excuse me. I think, at least. I haven't played it. Why do I have hiccups all of a sudden now? Oof. Tobias, I just blew myself. What's weirder, Elon cosplaying as a gamer or Elon doing weird child roleplay on Twitter? The child roleplay thing. I'm going to say the child roleplay thing is weirder. Yeah, and he's, you know, he's talked about how he's, you know, he maxed out levels in Diablo and I think was on the leaderboard for a while and was bragging about that in interviews and shit. And the thing that nobody ever really, and I've talked about it on here, it's so annoying how many people don't look at that and go like, do you know how many hours you have to invest into Diablo to be on the fucking leaderboard? Yet you're apparently, again, this is this, like, he is betrayed by his overwillingness, his insistence on being seen as the best. He is betrayed by his just lack of knowledge of the things he goes into. Because, like, it's one thing to hire somebody to always be grinding or to be, like, trying to keep your account at top of a leaderboard or whatever the fuck. It's another thing entirely to actually invest that time while you are simultaneously, apparently, you know, fathering your kids and on jets with Trump all day and looking to restructure the government and, you know, fucking overseeing $3 billion companies or whatever the fuck. And so it's just like, you can't do this. I've speculated for a long time that, like, no, there's no fucking way he's doing all of this. Excuse me.
See, I'm on max difficulty, you know, swagged out mode, and I'm just kind of breezing through it because I'm just that good at games, that kind of thing. It's his reluctance to just be honest about, like, hey guys, I like this game, I don't have time to grind it, so I paid these people to grind it for me so that way I can get to the end game and, you know, play the content I want. It wouldn't have blown up to this degree. I still think that would have been a little silly, and people would have still absolutely made fun of him for it, but to a lesser degree. It's just, what's the point? Why are you...
Yeah, like, I completely agree. It's like, if you're the, first off, if you're the fucking richest dude in the world, and you're using any degree of that money to pay somebody to play a video game for you, what the fuck are you doing? Like, legitimately, what the fuck? What are you doing? Hi, Aiden P. Thank you very much for stopping in. Yeah, it's yeah, Yenzo, exactly. Like, what is the point of bragging rights when you're not playing the game? Patrickum speaks. Thank you very much. I don't understand it. It's like here's the thing. It's not even bragging rights over something that fucking matters, right? Like, I gave a fuck about bragging rights about, like, oh yeah, I really did this in a video game. I stopped giving a shit about that in high school. Like, I still enjoy the feeling of achievement. It's very rare that I'll go after achievements and trophies, especially like I did back in the day, where I think I have 1,000 trophies or 1,000 points in like 15 or 16 games, and then at least 30 platinum trophies. So, like, I put in my time doing that shit, but it's not like, what am I can't buy shit with that. Fucking gamer score doesn't convert to currency, you know? Like, who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, like, that's for my own edification. Like, I can go back. I do enjoy one thing I enjoy doing. I do enjoy going back through my old trophies and achievements. Like that is kind of a fun way to go back and relive some of those memories and be like, oh shit, yeah, I remember where I was when I unlocked this trophy. Or, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it's been 10 years since I played that game. And that stuff is interesting, but that's not, that's not what we're talking about here with Elon, where he's fucking paying. Like, I can't even, the mindscape just befuddles me. Velkin999, thank you very much for following.
Paying someone to boost your account. If you like the game, why not just play it on your own time, even if it's not that fast and even if you're not top of the charts? But for Elon, the reason is because he wants everyone to view him as God's gift to humanity. So like, I'm one of the best gamers, check the stats. And he didn't achieve it. It wasn't him. And when Quinn made this video, it very much hurt Elon, because the gamers that he's trying to appeal to were privy to the fact that he's not the gaming god he claims to be. And that damaged him. So I knew he was going to have a comical response, but I didn't expect it would be this absurd. To set the stage for what happens next, Asmon and many others covered Quinn's video, as well as other people's content talking about how it was impossible that Elon was the one that actually played on that account because he is just dog shit and knows nothing about the game. Asmon covered this, he talked about it, reacted to the video, and today, Elon went on Twitter and had this to say. Asmon behaves like a maverick independent, but in reality has to ask his boss for permission.
Whoa. So, I'm not on Twitter at the moment. I deleted it off my phone. I told everybody when the stream started, I was out recording footage and shit for a video today, so I have not had time to, like, browse. Again, this is one of those things that Elon Musk beefing with somebody over video games is fucking insane to me. The richest man in the world, one of the richest men in the world, having a Twitter spat with a fucking loser like Asmongold. You really have nothing better to do. What? Like, nothing better to do with your time than this? All right, yeah.
Before he can do anything. He is not his own man. He then leaked his DMs with Asmon, where he said, this is Asmon, I'm going to see if my editors might want to make a second account for it. And then Elon replies, sure. Who are these mysterious editors? He actually sounds like that news anchor. Who is this 4chan? Like, how can someone be this fucking out of touch and stupid? I will never cease to be shocked by the...
Okay, let me try reading some of these. Who are these mysterious editors? Elon... oh god, community notes calling out Elon. With editors overseeing him, that's incorrect. Asmongold's editors are actually his employees.
Absolute idiot potion this guy seems to be boofing on the daily. Like, how, what do you mean, who are these mysterious editors? Do you not know what editors are? Holy shit. So then Asmon explains, two guys, links them, and then they basically run the entire YouTube account, lol. So basically any content I post is edited or uploaded by them, and they can just get a cut of the ad rev. It's a super good...
Fuck, man. See, like, here's the thing I'm stuck in, is that's the fucking dream, honestly. Having a small team that I can focus on content and not worry about uploading and managing that shit. Oh, magnifique. That's not gonna happen for me, because the difference here is that, unlike Asmongold, I actually work. I actually put effort and thought, most importantly, into my content. So it is a dream that is not meant to be, I believe.
stupid system, to be honest. Almost everyone on YouTube does it. And then there's a community note there, which says what should be obvious to anyone with a functioning frontal lobe. Elon Musk seems to think Asmongold is an employee with editors overseeing him. That's incorrect. Asmongold's editors are actually his employees. They edit, upload his content for a revenue share. They don't control what he does. And then Elon Musk proceeds to take away Asmongold's checkmark on Twitter. You remember that thing Elon was like really adamant about? You know, how checkmarks
Fucking
were kind of
petulant
like weaponized?
baby. Holy shit.
Hey, Elon, you're doing that. So, the free speech guy, you're taking away his checkmark because he hurt your feelings, fundamentally shadow banning him, because without a checkmark, his replies and his engagement go way down and you won't really see it anymore. You're shadow banning someone who hurt your feelings. Elon is just that fucking sensitive. In fact, sensitive doesn't even really cover it. Like, my cock gets sensitive when it gets sucked for too long. I'm like, ooh. But, like, that's sensitive. Elon has reached a new level of sensitivity I did not think was even achievable by a human being. It is just fucking flabbergasted by how soft he is. He has all the money in the world, but is beyond insecure to the point that I can't believe he's a real person. This has to be some kind of, like, Android protocol that's been sent from space, from, like, space Redditors, in order to see, like, the limits of cringe that can be pushed. Come on. He's talking about editors and then saying Asmon needs his editor's permission to post things. He lacks the fundamental understanding not only of Path of Exile 2, but of life. Like, of living as a...
Alright. Loser, little titty baby. Yeah, no.
Loser, little titty baby.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm good with that. Yeah, we already talked about the SpaceX destruction. Let's talk about... there's a lot of propaganda stuff to talk about. So, I wanted to read this from HuffPost because one of the things I've talked about is what we're likely going to see moving forward with the Trump administration is not just Trump, but people, especially in media and Hollywood, galvanizing around him. God, that fucking sucks, man. President-elect Donald Trump has named 3 special envoys he says will help promote business in Hollywood. God. Actors Jon Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone have been tapped to serve as Trump's eyes and ears. Each one of them are going to be something different, by the way. Because Jon Voight's eyesight, he isn't so good anymore. While helping improve Hollywood, which he called a great but very troubled place, he posted on Truth Social Thursday. They will serve as special envoys to me for the purpose of bringing Hollywood, which has lost much business over the last 4 years to foreign countries, back bigger and stronger than ever before. It will be, like the United States of America itself, the golden age of Hollywood. Yeah, I thought his fans hated Hollywood celebrity and endorsements. Yeah. Voight, in a video address last fall, called voting for Trump's political opponents the lowest and most vile choice you can trust with your life, your children's life. They will destroy the American dream. They are corrupt. It's fucking bleak. Somebody brought up the idea that we could very well be looking at the return of like McCarthyism in Hollywood. Oh yeah, Velkin 999. You just said it. I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility. Certainly. We'll get to a one thing, another topic very shortly having to do with Meta, because I think right now that scrawny little womanizing incel twerp Mark Zuckerberg is laying the groundwork, laying out a roadmap for the rest of anybody who wants to grift over to the right. Anybody wants to express their fields. He's laying out a roadmap for them to follow. Venom Beth, do you have any advice on how to cope without drinking alcohol? Exercise. Better food. 90% of the things, I think, like, you can improve so much about your life, your health, your well-being, the way you feel about things. A lot of it starts with you, not necessarily even the world around you. Unless you are talking about getting off alcohol. So I want to talk about one of the absolutely most evil, vile pieces of shit in power right now. I talked about him, and I maintain that having been in a room with people like Javier Milei and Trump and fucking Steve Bannon and, you know, tons of other assholes. Stephen Miller is still far and away the most evil presence I have ever felt in my life. A truly sociopathic monster of a human that does not deserve to be a part of polite society in any way. He has nothing but cruelty in his heart. His existence benefits nobody but the rich and powerful and himself. He is a vile piece of shit. He is a human being who truly has no redeeming qualities at any level. Now, he has also continued, and this is especially pressing to note, that even after the rampant, basically open white nationalism he espoused in his last, in Trump's last cabinet, Miller has managed to somehow return stronger than ever, which is not great. It's not great, if I'm being honest. Yeah, B. Parker was horrifying seeing all the shit he was pulling back in Trump's first term regarding the migrant camps. Yeah. And I think the truly worrying part is that now, much like Trump, I think people like him are feeling very vindicated. They are feeling like they have more of a blank check. One of the things I'm going to be really looking out for and asking about from Trump supporters when I'm at the rally, when I'm at the inauguration and the rally, is I really want to pay attention to the language they use about persecuting their opponents. Because a lot of people have been a lot of people in the right-wing media, I think they've let the mask slip a little bit too much. Because there are people who have been like, oh yeah, you know, we're going to put aside the politics of division and move on together. Which I don't believe for a fucking moment. because I was listening. I was at CPAC. I remember hearing the way people like this motherfucker talked about how they were going to go after and persecute their political enemies and fucking run them down. And I think there's going to be a lot of vindication, a lot of affirmation of that from their bases, honestly. Yeah. When Stephen Miller met with Mark Zuckerberg at Mar-a-Lago late last year, the 39-year-old Trump advisor was in a position of power that would have been unimaginable a decade ago. Back then, also, this is a perfect outline of basically how Zuckerberg is just acquiescing to whatever they want. Like, it has been completely cucked from any facade of a principled stance he may have once taken. There was another article on the end of the DEI era, and I think that is like a very, again, this is a thing that's going to have a very negative knock-on effect in culture, where it is now for the ruling elite of America, DEI has become such a good little bugbear for them to go after and shill and have essentially as a selling point of their politics. They've convinced people that it is a legitimate issue, that it's a real thing that's causing problems, because no, we certainly aren't. It's not us causing all the problems, like gerrymandering all over the fucking place, backroom deals, being completely ruled by corporate money and lobbying on both sides. Like, no. It's DEI. That's what's taking your job, and also the immigrants, and also all this other stuff. Great. And the knock-on effect that this is going to have in culture. Content warning for this. The knock-on effect this is going to have in culture is not just... It's not just going to be the conversations at the Thanksgiving dinner table. I need people to understand that. It is going to be, unfortunately, like the year started off with 2 separate terror attacks from 2 former service members. There was the attack, I think it was down in Florida, and then the attack at Trump Tower, where the dude immolated himself in a fucking Cybertruck. Just so darkly poetic. Now, I've talked about it. This is not the first time I've talked about it. People who watch the show, people who keep up with the channel know that I've talked about the just cultural brain rot that is driving so many people who are already imbalanced off the fucking edge. And this DEI hate cementing these ideas. Which here's the thing. While politicians like to cover their tracks, people like Matt Walsh barely cover their tracks saying, like, oh, I don't hate black people. Oh, there's nothing wrong with being black. Oh, there's blah, 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 blah. That's not what their audience hears. That's not what the young, impressionable, angry people out there hear. When they hear about DEI, it's shit like Synthetic Man believes, where their brains have been so rewired by this fucking propaganda that they will see a black person in a video game. They'll see an Asian person in a video game. It was like Synth went fucking like had a viral Twitter moment a couple months ago about Space Marine 2, because he talked about how there's woke propaganda because there's a black Space Marine and an Asian Space Marine. Like that's the rewiring that these DEI effects have. And also, we're going to see more shit like this. So this is Sky News today. 4 youths jailed for sickening transphobic attack after luring teenagers to roller disco. A group of youths turned on a woman when one of them was told she was transgender after having a sexual relationship with her. The woman, 18, who has not been named, was set upon by a mask-wearing group who invited her to the roller disco in an elaborate ruse. She said in the attack, which was planned on Snapchat, left her living in fear, a court has been told, and it heard how they bragged of the assault afterward, even posting footage of what they had done on social media. The attackers turned on her after one of the group had a sexual relationship with her, was told she was transgender, the sentencing hearing heard. Summer Betts Ramsey, who carried out the stabbing on 10th February, was sentenced to 8.5 years in youth detention, of which 4.5 must be served in custody. Judge Philip Katz described her as a dangerous offender who posed a risk to the public. No shit. As she was sentenced, a crying woman stormed out of the public gallery and shouted, "I love you, Summer, and people get less for murder." Imagine, I know that motherfucker is a TERF. I know I've tussled with that bitch on Twitter at some point. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Somebody admits, and there's verifiable proof, that they attacked and stabbed someone multiple times? That is attempted murder. That is not only attempted murder, it's premeditated attempted murder. You specifically went out of your way to plan and execute this against a specific person. If she was dead, that was murder in the first degree. And these motherfuckers want to be like, oh, people get less for murder. As if it's not a big deal. As if she just fucking nicked some fucking chips from a corner store. I never thought someone could have so much hatred towards me. She was punched to the ground and repeatedly kicked and stamped on. Rather than help, all of those involved ran off. She suffered really serious physical and emotional injuries. Jesus Christ. In January 2024, the woman was with Harris at his house when a mutual friend called to tell him she was trans. So this fucking mutual friend is a fucking dickhead. Prosecutor Deanna here told the Old Bailey that having been attacked in the past because of her identity, the woman denied it when asked. Afterwards, she and Harris kissed and she performed oral sex on him. However, another friend later told Harris the woman was trans. Again, she denied it, but when Harris picked up a knife and said, "I'll stab you if you lie," she admitted she was trans and Harris told her to leave. I have to go to Harrow to beat up someone. This is the knock-on effect, by the way. Every time Matt Walsh, every time Joanne, anytime some dumbass TERF wants to open their mouth about how, oh, trans people don't suffer, oh, you're just lifted up on top of the world. The ideas that all trans people are nothing more than disgusting men with a sex fetish, that it's all just autogynephilia, that's what this leads to. Dumbass motherfuckers internalize that shit. They hear it and they believe it. That night, a message was sent to Betts Ramsey which said, "Stabbing a girl because she's trans, it's disgusting." And she replied, "It deserved it." 17-year-old girl who has admitted to robbing the woman's handbag after the attacks is yet to be sentenced. So when you're spreading fears about DEI, you are looking to fight back against diversity and inclusion at every corner. They're basically encouraging more shit like that to happen here. That happened in Britain. Slightly different atmosphere, but they're encouraging shit like that to happen here. And make no mistake, like shit like that is what people like Libs of TikTok and Matt Walsh want to happen. Don't ever let Chaya Raichik or Matt Walsh wiggle out from the fact that they specifically live their lives for that to keep happening every day. That's what they want. When people like Michael Knowles talk about stamping out transgenderism and removing it from public life entirely, that's what they mean. Do you think that they all just think that, oh, if people all just disagree with it, yeah, the transes will stop? No. They want to ferment actual violence against trans people. So, talking about DEI, back to the Miller thing. Mr. Miller told Zuckerberg that he had an opportunity to help reform America, but it would be on President-elect Donald Trump's terms. He made clear that Trump would crack down on immigration and go to war against the DEI culture that had been embraced by Meta, Facebook, and much of corporate America in recent years. Mr. Zuckerberg was amenable. He signaled to Miller and his colleagues, including other senior Trump advisors, that he would do nothing to obstruct the Trump agenda, according to 3 people with knowledge of the meeting who asked for anonymity. Mr. Zuckerberg said he would focus solely on building tech products. He blamed his former chief operating officer, Sheryl Sandberg, for an initiative that encouraged employee self-expression, according to one of the people with knowledge of the meeting. He said new guidelines and layoffs amounted to a reset and that more changes were coming. June Beneath, thank you very much for following. Sorry to anybody who's hopping in right now. It's fucking dark. Fucking dark right now. Have a good night, Blue Rhythm. Yeah. Miller was influential in Trump's first term, but stands to be exponentially more so this time. He holds the positions of Deputy Chief of Staff with oversight of domestic policy and Homeland Security Advisor, which gives him range to coordinate among cabinet agencies. He will be a key legislative strategist and is expected to play an important role in crafting Trump's speeches. So I can't help but wonder, again, people have... Like, I've talked about how Trump is not nearly as dangerous as the people who surround him, the people who are essentially using him. That's not to say, like, Trump is entirely feckless and he's, unaware of what is going on. He's not. But he is not nearly as dangerous as people like Miller. If you look at the totality of Trump's projects, especially how they've shifted and changed, how priorities have shifted and changed over time, they align less with whatever Trump actually thinks and more with what people like Miller think. And now people like Elon Musk. I call Stephen Trump's brain, said Kevin McCarthy, former House Speaker who credited Miller, a private citizen, with helping to rally lawmakers to insert a sweeping border crackdown into a spending bill in 2023. People briefed on the executive orders that his team is drafting say they include an attempt to end birthright citizenship, a designation of drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and a reinstatement of Title 42, which allows the U.S. to seal the border with Mexico as there's a public health threat. Mr. Trump's advisors have spent months trying to identify a disease that will help them build a case for Title 42 since there's no such emergency at the moment. Like literally in front of people's faces, fucking making emergencies to be able to ban and put people in camps and shit. Like Alex Jones has spent literal decades now talking about, oh, government false flags and shit. You can bet your ass he will be in the bag for every single one of these things. And they are basically waving the flag. They are waving the false flag right in front of your fucking face. As he works out his priorities, Miller appears to have learned two key lessons from Trump's first term. The first is to flood the zone. He believes that those he regards as Trump's enemies, Democrats, the media, groups like the ACLU, and portions of the federal bureaucracy, are depleted and only have so much bandwidth for outrage and opposition. Miller has told people that the goal is to overwhelm them with a blitz of activity. And you better believe, oh God, you better believe that is the entire, every time you hear leading up to in less than a week when Trump takes office, you better believe that so much of Project 2025, everything Trump says, on day one, we'll be doing this, blah, 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 it is not with the intent of actually achieving their goals. It's not with the actual intent of pushing forward the agenda and working for the American people. It is with the intent of overwhelming what they see as their opposition. The second lesson has been to operate with as much secrecy as possible to prevent anyone from finding ways to obstruct the Trump agenda. The protectiveness around the executive orders is particularly notable. An incoming administration would usually send the drafts to the Justice Department, where a career lawyer, walled off from the outgoing administration's political appointees, reviews them. For the most part, Mr. Trump's first transition is said to have followed that practice. But Miller is using a team of lawyers from outside the Justice Department to vet the orders. Oh my God. They are literally unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. Rib rascal, I'm not gay, I'm homosexual. I failed to see the difference. Liz Bobby, that's illegal. Here's the thing. It's only illegal if there's somebody to judge it as being illegal. Everybody's going to get a real fucking, like, all the liberals are about to get a real fun crash course in legality versus morality. Like, there's going to be a lot of, I mean, there already has been. The last fucking 12 years, we've been looking at the news every day, and there's been just a fucking cadre, an ever-present cabal of like Jeff Deirdrick and fucking that one Brooklyn dad motherfucker, just a bunch of these resistance libs who have spent years now going like, actually, and that's illegal, and Trump's, it's only 3 p.m. and Trump's already getting charged, and like he's gonna get brought up on this, and it's like nobody ever stopped to fucking be like, but wait, what if they just don't prosecute them? What if these people have gotten literally too powerful for them to bring up on charges? Then what if those people then take control? guess let's fucking find out. Let's go. Oh, this fucking sucks, dude. Dillis Chill, Stephen Miller, pride of my high school. I had the same government teacher as him. I'm sorry for your high school. Yeah, no, Cowprint Soda actually maddening the amount of times Trump has slipped through sentencing or taking accountability. Yeah, the entirety of Trump's ascendancy is just like liberals going like, we got him this time. And he nothing happens. They go, well, we'll get him next time. And we're about to fucking find out what the end of that next time rainbow looks like. There's not going to be a fucking next time. Yeah, no. Hey, wait, aren't these institutions we trust to act as guardrails? Yeah. Like, what if somebody just said, nah? Like, it turns out that the institutions aren't actually that fucking secure. In the meantime, so essentially, they are using lawyers outside of the regular process that they hire to judge the legality of the executive orders. Fucking dope, dude. Like, baller move, whatever. In the meantime, Miller is trying to eliminate any roadblocks to Trump's immigration plans. Mass deportations will require arrangements with other countries to take in the migrants. To that end, Miller lobbied for his ally, the former ambassador to Mexico, Christopher Landau, to be chosen as Deputy Secretary of State under Marco Rubio. Knowing the White House will need billions in congressional appropriations for the biggest deportation operation in American history, which he's previously said will include sweeping raids and use of the military to build massive camps to detain the migrants. Miller has spent 4 years building relationships with lawmakers, and it appears to have paid off. When Johnson addressed the House Republican Conference after securing the speakership, he made a point of singling out Miller for praise. Senator Jim Banks of Indiana, a former House member, said he talked to Miller nearly every day for 4 years that Trump was out of the White House. Fuck, man. This weaselly little incel fuck did not get... Sorry, I can't. I don't want to be. Yeah. I'm not gonna Fed post. I'm not gonna Fed post on Maine. Just saying. I'm just saying. Is hypothetically, allegedly, Stephen Miller was put in a lot of lockers in high school. And hypothetically, allegedly, I think he wasn't put in nearly enough. Blah, blah, blah. Miller, who comes from a wealthy family, no shit, did something else that Trump appreciated. He did not try leveraging his Trump ties into lucrative consulting contracts. The compensation he drew from his nonprofit, the America First Legal Foundation, in 2023 was far less than he could have earned working as a political gun for hire. Stephen believes in the president's agenda deeply. Yeah, sure. The agenda that he makes, you fucking moron. His long-term demonization of radical Islam went relatively quiet at moments during the 2024 presidential race as he encouraged Trump campaign to issue inviting statements to Muslims in Michigan, part of a strategy to exploit Muslims' anger over the Biden administration's support for Israel. Fuck, man. He's fucking good. Like, you want to know one of the reasons why we'll watch Biden's farewell speech soon, but do you want to know one of the reasons why people like Trump are winning? Because they have vicious fucking attack dogs like Miller. There's nobody. Well, I'm not saying there's nobody. The Dems didn't listen. It takes a uniquely, it takes a chameleon like Trump to also listen to advice from these snakes, right? And like the old Blue Dog Democrat standard of the Capitol Hill Dems, people like Biden, people like Kamala, like it doesn't fucking fly. Especially compared to something like this. Like somebody who spent his entire career denouncing radical Islam, talking about, oh, the threat, they're coming in through our borders. But the second he knows it's politically expedient, it goes with the populist image of Trump to try and appeal to Muslims. He is fucking on that. Does he actually believe any of this shit? Who knows? Who cares? Doesn't matter. It won the election at the end of the fucking day. God damn. Vontix, thank you very much for $5. I have the Donkey Kong Country song stuck in my head, making the stream far less upsetting. I'm glad to hear that. He's regarded as unusually intense and has been known to berate government officials he deemed obstructive. He has strongly held opinions about even minor matters like men's fashion, specifically fabrics, patterns, colors, and collars. You know shit. Oh, God. Fucking dude. I know. Has a little bit of what are the terms? A little sugar in his step, sugar in the tank, a little bee in the bonnet. Fuck, man. Mr. Trump may not complain about Miller, but he does occasionally poke at his obsession with immigrants, a hostility that goes far beyond Trump's. In one meeting during the 2024 campaign, Trump said that if it was up to Mr. Miller, there would be only 100 people in this country and they would all look like Miller. 100 million people in this country and they would all look like Miller, according to a person with knowledge of the comment. Yeah, no shit. Miller began advising Mr. Musk on his political donations, which were at the time a closely held secret, according to two people with knowledge of the matter. By the way, also get ready to see a lot less transparency and expediency with who's fucking funding shit going forward. A nonprofit called Citizens for Sanity, which tax filing shows closely tied to Miller's group, raised $94 million in 2022, paid for ads that attack Democrats' policies on trans youth. Fuck, man. That might be a little bit bleak. Let's go to the Biden farewell speech, and then talk about Pam Bondi a little bit. The Pam Bondi had her confirmation hearings. I'm gonna start pressing. Well, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick, then I'll press play, and we'll continue on through this. So I'll be right back. Hey there, chat. How are we doing? How is everybody doing? Yeah. Let's fucking go, chat. Hello, Blue Sky Dragon. Let's get it. Let's get in here.
American and Israeli hostages in exchange for the release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners, a surge of humanitarian aid into Gaza, and an end to all hostilities. Again, waiting to hear from President Biden in what will be his final address to the nation. Live on C-SPAN.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from the Oval Office. Before I begin, let me speak to important news from earlier today. After 8 months of nonstop negotiation, by my administration, a ceasefire and a hostage.
30 seconds and you're already tripping on our words. Going out the same way we went in, never belonging in the fucking White House. God damn it. You'd love to see it. We'd love to see it, chat. Let's fucking go.
Deal has been reached by Israel and Hamas, the elements of which I laid out in great detail in May of this year. This plan was developed and negotiated by my team and will be largely implemented by the incoming administration. That's why I told my team to keep the incoming administration fully informed, because that's how it should be, working together as Americans. This will be my final address to you from the American people from the Oval Office, from this desk as president. And I've been thinking a lot about who we are and maybe more importantly, who we should be. Long ago in New York Harbor, an iron worker installed beam after beam, day after day. He was joined by steel workers.
That iron worker's name? Mickey Mouse. Those steel workers' names? Donald Duck and Goofy.
Stonemasons, engineers. They built not just a single structure, but a beacon of freedom. The very idea of America was so big, we felt the entire world needed to see. The Statue of Liberty, a gift from France after our Civil War. Like the very idea of America, it was built not by one person, but by many people, from every background and from around the world. Like America, the Statue of Liberty is not standing still. Her foot literally steps forward atop a broken chain of human bondage. She's on the march, and she literally moves. She was built to sway back and forth to withstand the fury of stormy weather, to stand the test of time because storms are always coming. She sways a few inches, but she never falls into the current below. An engineering marvel. The Statue of Liberty is also an enduring symbol of the soul of our nation. A soul shaped by forces that bring us together and by forces that pull us apart. And yet through...
Dazed. Now Biden can finally sleep all he wants. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of feel like people aren't really talking about the fact that he definitely was basically a puppet president for his staff and how that's pretty not cool. I have bad news about most presidents. Ashley, thank you for $5. The far right are so ideologically aligned with hardcore Islamists, with the girls and the gays. I'm not surprised they haven't started collabing. So that's where you get. We were kind of talking about it a little bit with Andrew Tate last stream, where like there is this contingent of dipshits like Andrew Tate and Sneeko that see. And by the way, it is not all Islam that is like this. It should be like you clarify in your video. It is hardcore Islamist. It is what would be called radical Islam. Is it is regressive in many ways, the same as radical Christianity in America, radical evangelicals. You should be right. Were it not for just the simple differences in the God they worship, a lot of their ideology and agendas perfectly fucking align. It's almost like assholes kind of just always want the same thing, no matter what skin color they are, where they come from. It's an asshole's an asshole, it turns out.
Good times and tough times, we've withstood it all. A nation of pioneers and explorers, of dreamers and doers, of ancestors native to this land, of ancestors who came by force.
Yeah. Sneeko is still alive. I don't know if he's still on the Islam tip, but I know for a minute Sneeko was talking about, you know, how he had embraced faith and he was doing that fucking grift, but I don't think Sneeko is smart enough to like stick with it. He doesn't strike me as somebody who grew up in a church and had like a genuine like knowledge of church and worship and all that actually entails when it comes into your life. So he strikes me as somebody who would jump off that pretty quick. Quiet Katina, it's kind of the difference between being culturally Catholic by birth and being casual about it, and a trad Cath convert like Knowles or Walsh. Knowles might be a trad Cath convert. Walsh has been a Catholic literally his entire life, to my knowledge. I think Walsh is just uniquely an asshole. Walsh is just uniquely an asshole about it. Yeah, I don't know if they're converts or not, but their vibes are way different from just being Catholic by default, seems to me. I would agree with that. Like I think again, it is Walsh just being born terrible, basically. Walsh is a Christian. Catholics are a kind of Christian. He had a good run. Did he? Did he though? Did he?
Nations of immigrants came to build a better life. A nation holding the torch of the most powerful idea ever in the history of the world. That all of us are created equal. That all of us deserve to be treated with dignity, justice, and fairness. That democracy must defend and be defined and be imposed, moved in every way possible. Our rights, our freedoms, our dreams. But we know the idea of America, our institution, our people, our values that uphold it are constantly being tested. Ongoing debates about power and the exercise of power. But whether we lead by the example of our power or the power of our example. Whether we show the courage to stand up to the abuse of power or we yield to it. After 50 years at the center of all of this, I know that believing in the idea of America means
that's so bleak.
The institution.
That's so fucking bleak, dude. Definitional career politician in his farewell address after losing the country to somebody who has openly said he wants to be a dictator on day one. He says, oh, I'll put it aside after that. I just want to be a dictator on day one. We'll see. Open fascism is what the right wing in America is aligned with right now. Suppressing not just dissent, but anybody they view as different. And this motherfucker wants to sit here and act like, oh, the system is working perfectly fine. We just need to respect norms and values, as if they were ever going to do that, as if people like Trump have been doing that the whole time. Who the fuck is he talking to right now? Like I shouldn't be surprised. That, again, the career politician who is probably going to die in the next 5 years, let's be honest, of natural causes. Not saying anybody's going to do anything to Joe Biden. Fucking unbelievable, dude. Fucking unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
Govern a free society. The presidency, the Congress, the courts, a free and independent press. Institutions that are rooted, they just might not reflect the timeless words, but they echo.
Great. Yep.
Words of the Declaration
Let's
of
go,
Independence.
Joe. Let's fucking go.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. Rooted in the timeless words of the Constitution. We, the people. Our system of separation of powers, checks and balances. It may not be perfect, but it's maintained our democracy for nearly 250 years.
Has it? Joe.
Longer than any other
Joe. Joe. God. Joe Biden was never a real one, chat. Like it shouldn't surprise anybody. the Zionist motherfucker. But like the idea that, again, you can sit and look at what is happening in the country right now and be like, yeah, this is everything has worked so far, nothing to see here, where everybody just keep on going, it's gonna be A-okay. Fuck, man. Fuck.
In history that's ever tried such a bold experiment. In the past 4 years, our democracy is held strong. And every day I've kept my commitment to be president for all Americans.
The past 4 years, democracy is held strong. The system is working as intended. Meanwhile, Trump just skated on felony charges, on verifiable crimes that he's done. Multiple verifiable crimes. Awesome Kid TH. Hey, I haven't seen you in a minute. Hi, DD just popped into the stream. How are things? All kinds of cattywampus. All kinds of fucked up. Just all kinds of fucked up. But it's great. We're smiling through it. We're chilling. I'm vibing. I'm Joe vibing right now is how we're doing. Hey-o, Joe vibing in the hizzy. Let's go. Let's get it.
Through one of the toughest periods in our nation's history, I've had a great partner in Vice President Kamala Harris. It's been the honor of my life to see the resilience of essential workers getting us through a once-in-a-century pandemic, the heroism of service members and first responders keeping us safe, the determination of advocates standing up for our rights and our freedoms instead of losing their jobs to an economic crisis that we inherited. Millions of Americans now have the dignity of work. Millions of entrepreneurs and companies creating new businesses and industries, hiring American workers.
Thank you very much. Somebody's saying, been looking for a while. Just want to say thank you for streaming. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am glad if I can help some of the other folks get through some of this shit. Thank you very much, Vertigo Mind Warp. Thank you for subscribing.
Products.
It's never been more Jover.
We've launched a new era of American possibilities. One of the greatest modernizations of infrastructure in our entire history. From new roads, bridges, clean water, affordable high-speed internet for every American.
Where? What?
We invented the semiconductor. Smaller than...
If we're being real, again, if we're being fucking real, high-speed internet should be a free universal right at this point. Like, and this isn't even me getting on a, vaguely socialist soapbox about like, oh, everything should be free. It should be. But more importantly, if you really want to have, by the way, this is how you know motherfuckers like Elon Musk don't really put their money where their mouth is, or in this case, their mouth where their money is that if Elon truly believed that things like X, the Everything app, were the new town square, he would also believe that everybody should have equal access to it, including blue checks, and should be funding that fucking fiber wire shit everywhere for free. They don't actually believe that, though. They don't believe that. It sells real great to his new conservative grifting base, but yeah. How accurate is that so far? It's you got it. You got it. Yeah, food and water as well. Like Jeremy Hall. Don't get me wrong. I feel like that goes without saying that like people should have food, water, and housing provided. Like this is the thing I think people don't really get about that idea is that like because you have food, water, and housing provided, that doesn't mean you're going to have like a nice McMansion. Like that doesn't mean you'll be able to have, fucking a 5-course lobster dinner every night. But when you look at the fact that, and there are so many problems with the carceral system in America, so fucking many. But the fact that we literally have people in prisons who are, make no mistake about it, slave labor. The people out there in LA saving billionaires' houses and fucking fighting the fires are slaves being paid cents every hour of risking their lives. Cents. Pennies an hour. They are slaves. There's no other way to do it. They are legalized slaves. Legality, not a guide to morality. However, they are also, as slaves, given more respect and dignity than a homeless person. 3 hots in a cot every day, motherfucker. And you shouldn't have to sign your soul away to get it. Everybody should get that shit. And it would cost nothing to dip dickheads like Elon Musk and Bezos and fucking Zuckerberg and all them. Except the principle. Fuck, it pisses me off.
The tip of my little finger. And now is bringing those chip factories and those jobs back to America where they belong, creating thousands of jobs. Finally, giving Medicare the power to negotiate lower prescription drug prices for millions of seniors. And finally, doing something to protect our children and our families by passing the most significant gun safety law in 30 years and bringing violent crime.
Do you want to talk about, is he going to talk about rolling back and fucking rolling over for transgender protections that he's done in the last year or two? Is he going to talk about that shit? The thing that Libs spent fucking, when I first got on this channel and I had Libs in the chat talking about how, oh, Biden's been so good for queer rights. He's been so good for trans rights. And he fucking rolled over like my cat wanting a belly rub this last year.
To a 50-year low, meeting our sacred obligation to over 1 million veterans so far who are exposed to...
No. Rhyme Jack, I have not had much silence from the Libs. Like, let me tell you, the things I've been hearing from the Libs is the second fucking Kamala lost in that goddamn landslide, and the second everybody knew, oh, it's because she was Zionist. It's because she was appealing to billionaires and the predominantly white upper crust of America over the rest of everybody who's been suffering, which, say whatever you want about Trump, to the median voter, he was at least appearing to listen to them. At least trying to appear that way. Kamala didn't give a fuck. To have Taylor Swift and Beyonce and shit at her rallies, who gives a shit? No, the second that plan backfired and Trump ended up winning, every fucking Lib, they did the same thing all the Dems did in their emails. The day after, I talked to everybody about this. If you're on like political mailing lists, you know this. The day fucking after, the Capitol Hill Democrats had the gall to send out an email saying, well, we lost, but the fight's not over. Donate now to help protect democracy. And if that ain't the whole fucking game right there. Jesus. No, but the narrative from the Libs then became, well, we can't, let's not ruminate on the past. Let's not look back. We can only look forward. Now we gotta fight to save democracy. It's like, I know y'all motherfuckers aren't serious. I know this shit doesn't actually affect you. Because if you were serious about it, you would have been serious the whole time. If you were serious about it, you would not be like, well, let's not stay in the past. The past is where you live. The past is your home. You need to fucking sit and have a study circle in the past and really fucking Winnie the Pooh that shit out and think, oh bother, where did we go wrong? Like fucking sit in your zone for a second. But no, they don't want to. They want to. Past is the past. Whatever.
Toxic materials and to their families, providing medical care and education benefits and more.
See, I wonder if he's also... See, I can just... Every couple seconds I'm going to be stopping because I can just fucking... I think of new things. I'm thinking of the fucking student debt, which I hope my student debt did get wiped out because I honestly, I didn't have that much. But like... And I haven't... I think it might have. If not, it got lost somewhere along the way, hopefully. Yeah, no, like Spooky Pepper, honestly, Democrats being centrist is generous. Like with the way that they shill for Israel, yeah, kind of.
for their families. You know, it will take time to feel the full impact of all we've done together. But the seeds are planted, and they'll grow and they'll bloom for decades to come. At home, we've created nearly 17 million new jobs, more than any other single administration, a single term. More people have health care than ever before. And overseas, we've strengthened NATO. Ukraine is still free.
Ukraine is so free. This is all very good and wonderful. This is very nice stuff to tout on a presidential resume. I can't help but wonder what fucking good is it if the next guy is just going to tear it all down and you did nothing to prevent that. Like, you are saying, hey, look at this thing I built, as there is a wrecking ball swinging in right behind it. Okay, who's going to care tomorrow? Quite literally, who's going to care next week when all this shit starts getting fucking dismantled?
And we pulled ahead of our competition with China and so much more. I'm so proud of how much we've accomplished together for the American people. And I wish the incoming administration success, because I want America to succeed. That's why I've held my duty to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition of power, to ensure we lead by the power of our example. I have no doubt that America is in a position to continue to succeed. That's why my farewell address tonight, I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern. This is a dangerous and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. And the dangerous consequences if their abuse of power
Again,
is left undone.
A little bit too late for this, buddy. Like, you're now worried about the ultra-wealthy exploiting America? Okay, then you should have been on Bernie's train for the last 4 years, for the last 8 years, for the last 50 years. When people like Bernie, again, not a perfect politician, but one of the only people actually trying consistently to stand up for not just workers' rights, but against the fucking political oligarchy that's very clearly emerging and has been for decades now. This is not some newfangled idea. Like, we did not wake up yesterday and it's like, oh, fuck, Elon Musk is going to be running a fake department and doing shit in the government with fucking another failed billionaire, Vivek Ramaswamy? The hell? Like, no. This shit has been led to for decades. Arguably since Reaganomics. Probably more since Nixon. Like... Unbelievable. Yeah, no, Naomi Francis, Bernie's interview with Hassan was nice. Bernie, come on, Dead Domain. Come on, the Dead Domain. Come on, son. I would love to talk to Bernie. I would love to just, like, pick his brain about stuff.
Checked. Today.
No, he is. Yeah, Luke Skydragon. He's like, the president should do something about this. Who's the president again, Jack? Fucking...
An oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy.
You
our
fucking
basic rights
think?
and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead. We see the consequences all across America.
I'm gonna run to the grab some water real quick.
More than a century ago, but the American people stood up to the robber barons back then and busted the trusts. They didn't punish the wealthy. They just made the wealthy play by the rules everybody else had to. Workers want rights to earn their fair share. You know, they were dealt into the deal, and it helped put us on a path to building the largest middle class, the most prosperous century any nation in the world has ever seen. We've got to do.
They didn't punish the wealthy. I like how he's trying to take this like vaguely pragmatic stance, but then has to couch it and be like, Sexy boy moment. We need a compilation of DD shouting in the background. I swear to God, every time I leave, whoever I'm playing one of the most milquetoast, boring people in the world right now, on a video, like, and he still says some out of pocket shit. Like, he wants to talk about how dangerous the political oligarchy is, the tech robber barons and all this shit, but he doesn't want to make it sound like, but I don't want to, like, that Luigi guy, that's still fucking not cool. Not cool. Like, we don't need to punish them, right? Like, we can all exist happily. Workers need to fight for their rights and stuff, too. Fuck, man.
Do that again. In the last 4 years, that is exactly what we've done. People should be able to make as much as they can, but play by the same rules. Pay their fair share of taxes. So much is at stake. Right now, the existential threat of climate change has never been clearer.
God, he's so fucking grandpa-brained. He's so grandpa-brained.
North Carolina. That's why I signed the most significant climate and clean energy law ever in the history of the world. And the rest of the
Again,
world
this shit's going to be fucking rolled back.
It's working, creating jobs and industries of the future. Now, we've proven we don't have to choose between protecting the environment and growing the economy. We're doing both. The powerful forces want to wield their unchecked influence to eliminate the steps we've taken to tackle the climate crisis, to serve their own interest for power and profit. We must not be bullied into sacrificing the future of our children and our grandchildren. We must keep pushing forward and push faster. There's no time to waste. It's also clear that American leadership in technology is an unparalleled source of innovation that can transform lives. We see the same dangers of the concentration of technology, power, and wealth. You know, his farewell address, President Eisenhower spoke of the dangers of the military-industrial complex. He warned us then about, and I quote, the potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power, end of quote. 6 decades later, I'm equally concerned about the potential rise of a tech-industrial complex that could pose real dangers for our country as well. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing. Social media is giving up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies told for power and for profit.
Yeah, no shit,
we must hold the social platforms accountable to protect our children, our families, and our very democracy from the abuse of power. Meanwhile, artificial intelligence is the most consequential technology of our time, perhaps of all time.
If only, first off, he absolutely does not understand what artificial intelligence. He actually thinks those robots are thinking. If only there was somebody who had some kind of, I don't know, executive power, could pressure the lobbies for things like AI, big business, social media, the media. We could, who's to say? Maybe there's a solution out there. Have we tried it all? Have we tried literally fucking anything? Whatever, fucking play him off.
Nothing offers more profound possibilities and risks for our economy and our security, our society, for humanity. Artificial intelligence even has the potential to help us answer my call to end cancer as we know it. But unless safeguards are in place, AI could spawn new threats to our rights, our way of life, to our privacy, how we work, and how we protect our nation. We must make sure AI is safe and trustworthy and good for all humankind. In the age of AI, it's more important than ever that the people must govern.
Fuck.
And as the land of liberty, America.
The truly dark and depressing part of this is that everything he's saying is accurate, and he's presenting this as like a dire warning for people to follow through on, but none of it's like it's all going to be completely disregarded by the people coming into power. Like, do you think for a second Trump's going to put any safeguards on fucking AI? Hell no. When fucking Elon Musk is going to be posting AI-generated feet pics of AOC to try and own her when she says, like, hey, this motherfucker's insane. Like, no. Trump's not going to stop that. He has no interest in it. Fuck, man.
Not China, must lead the world in the development of AI. You know, in the years ahead, it'll help to be, it's going to be up to the presidency, the Congress, the courts, the free press, and the American people to confront these powerful forces. We must reform the tax code, not by giving the biggest tax cuts to billionaires, but by making them begin to pay their fair share.
Oh my God, if only there was somebody who could have done this to begin with.
Hidden funding behind too many campaigns contributions. We need to get it out of our politics. We need to enact an 18-year time limit, time and term, for the strongest ethics and the strongest ethics reforms for our Supreme
Great.
Court.
Fucking rad, dude.
We need to ban members of Congress.
Let's go. This is so awesome.
From trading stock while they're in the Congress. We need to amend the Constitution to make clear that no president is immune from crimes that he or she commits while in office. The president's power is not limited. It's not absolute, and it shouldn't be.
God damn it. I think he meant to say a president's power is not unlimited, but he just said it sounded like a president's power is not limited. Great, dude. Like, yeah, no, Drax Stormscale, they couldn't have done a second take on this. The final address that you're giving as fucking president. Like, whatever.
And in a democracy, there's another danger to the concentration of power and wealth.
Oh, is
It
there?
erodes a sense of unity and common purpose.
Yeah,
It causes
we have one of those
distrust
going
and
on.
division. Participating in our democracy becomes exhausting and even disillusioning. And people don't feel like they have a fair shot. We have to stay engaged in the process. I know it's frustrating.
Why?
A fair shot is
Do
what
ya?
makes America
Do ya?
America.
Do you know it's
Everyone's
frustrating,
entitled
Joe?
to a fair
Do you
shot.
know?
Not a
I don't
guarantee,
think you
just a
do.
fair shot, an even playing field, going as far as your hard work and talent can take you. We can never lose that essential truth, remain who we are. I've always believed, and I've told other world leaders, America can be defined by one word: possibilities. Only in America do we believe anything is possible. Like a kid with a stutter from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claremont, Delaware, sitting behind this desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. That's the magic of America. It's all around us.
He's talking about it like
Upstairs
it's
in the
fucking
residence of the White House,
Disneyland, bro.
I've walked by a painting of the Statue of Liberty, I don't know how many times. In the painting, there's several workers climbing on the
Hulkenberg, not the messenger we needed in the face of fascism. Yeah, you know, if only there was a broadly popular candidate like 4 years ago that didn't get fucking thrown under the bus by the Democrat Party establishment that then proceeded to spend the next years propping up this fucking ever-thinning puppet. This wrinkly ventriloquist dummy. Brains made of fucking pudding and ice cream. Who's to say? Who's to say what could have happened if there was a more popular candidate?
Holds the torch. It reminds me every day I pass it of the story and soul of our nation and the power of the American people. There's a story of a veteran. This is a veteran, a son of an immigrant, whose job was to climb that torch and polish the amber panes so rays of light could reach out as far as possible. He was known as the keeper of the flame. He once said of the Statue of Liberty, quote, speaks a silent universal language, one of hope, that anyone who seeks and speaks freedom can understand. Yes, we sway back and forth to withstand the fury of the storm, to stand the test of time. A constant struggle, a short distance between peril and possibility. But what I believe is the America of our dreams is always closer than we think. It's up to us to make our dreams come true. Let me close by stating my gratitude to so many people, to the members of my administration, as well as public service and first responders across the country and around the world. Thank you for stepping up to serve. To our service members and your families, it's been the highest honor of my life to lead you as Commander-in-Chief. And of course to Kamala and our incredible partner, the historic Vice President. She and Doug have become like family, and to me, family's everything. My deepest appreciation to our amazing First Lady who's with me in the Oval today, for our entire family. You're the love of my life and the lives of my love. My eternal thanks to you, the American people. After 50 years of public service, I give you my word. I still believe in the idea for which this nation stands. A nation where the strength of our institutions and the character of our people matter and must endure. Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame. May you keep the faith. I love America. You love it too. God bless you all.
Fuck, man.
God protect our troops. Thank you for this great honor.
That's all, folks. Fuck, man. Fucking. Yeehaw! Let's fucking go. You know what? All right, Jep. One of my partners just messaged me. She wants to go out and grab some drinks. And I think I am going to do exactly what she says. But I'm going to go and, all right, chat. I need you to, all right, come here, chat, come here. In for a second. Don't go anywhere. Stop it. Don't leave. Don't click off. Don't click off. Mommy didn't say you could go yet. Come here. Here. I am going to have us raid a channel over on Twitch. Pheromone is one of my favorite drag queens. And I only recently found out that not only is she one of my favorite drag queens, but she streams Dead by Daylight. So you're going to go over to a Dead by Daylight stream. You're going to spread the gospel of Dead Domain. You're going to like, you're going to subscribe, you're going to follow, and in the hopes that one day I'll be able to get her as a guest on my show. So go over, go like, go subscribe, go follow. And thank you all very much for joining tonight. I said it was going to be a slightly smaller stream. This will be the last stream before I go to Washington, D.C., so wish me luck. I'm hoping depending on how tomorrow goes, I think I'm going to end up working a lot on the video that I was filming for today. So before even I go to D.C., y'all might be getting another fun, deep dive, lighthearted video. So yeah, stay tuned to that. And be sure to like, subscribe, watch the latest videos and all that stuff. And I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your nights. I'm just waiting for the raid counter to come back up. Thank you, thank you, thank you.